Welcome to my channel, dear teachers. For today's video, ang i-discuss po natin ay MOVs for RPMS for Teacher 1 to 3. This is for the preparation for our performance assessment this school year 2023-2024. Before we proceed, please don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Teacher V. Unahin po muna nating i-discuss ang lahat ng RPMS objectives na may Classroom Observable Indicator or COI. Reminder that all MOVs of COI are COT rating sheet or inter-observer agreement form. Let's start with objective number 1, applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. As you can see po, ang sample MOV for this objective ay 4 na COT rating sheet because this is observable indicator sa ating classroom observation ng 1st to 4th quarter. Huwag pong kalimutan na i-highlight yung indicator number 1 sa ating COT rating sheet for this objective. Objective number 2, use a range of teaching strategies that enhance learner achievement in literacy and numeracy skills. As you can see po, ang sample MOVs natin for this objective ay 4 because this is observable indicator from 1st to 4th quarter. I-highlight po natin yung indicator number 2 sa ating rating sheet kapag ilalagay sa ating portfolio. Objective number 3, apply the range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skills. For this objective po, kagaya ng first and second objective, ang ating MOV dito ay yung first to fourth quarter ng ating rating sheet. So this is observable indicator number 3, paki-highlight lang po bago po ilagay sa ating portfolio. Objective number 4, displayed proficient use of mother tongue, Filipino and English to facilitate teaching and learning. So this objective po is observable indicator ng first and third quarter. So ang i-attach po nating COT rating sheet ay 2 for this objective. Objective number 5, establish safe and secure learning environments to enhance learning through the consistent implementation of policies, guidelines, and procedures. For this objective po, ito po ay indicator number 5 sa ating COT rating sheet during first and third quarter. So, 2 din pong rating sheet ang ilalagay natin sa ating portfolio. Objective number 6, maintain learning environments that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. So this objective po is indicator number 6 sa ating rating sheet ng first and third quarter. So yun po ang i-highlight natin at i-attach dito sa ating portfolio. Objective number 7, establish a learner-centered culture by using strategies that respond to their linguistic, cultural, socio-economic, and religious backgrounds. So for this objective, this is observable indicator during second and fourth quarter. So yung dalawang MOVs po natin ay kailangan na i-highlight yung indicator number 7 sa ating rating sheet bago i-attach dito sa ating portfolio. Objective number 8, adapted and used culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups. So this is observable indicator number 8 during second and fourth quarter. Kaya dalawang MOV po ang ilalagay natin sa ating portfolio. Ang objective number 9 po natin ay non-observable, so later po natin siya i-discuss. For objective number 10, use the strategies for providing timely, accurate, and constructive feedback to improve learner performance. So this objective po is indicator number 9 sa ating rating sheet, and this is observable during second and fourth quarter. So 2 pong MOVs ang ilalagay natin sa ating portfolio. Reminder po na ang ating COT rating sheet na i-attach sa ating RPMS portfolio, dapat po lahat ay may pirma ni ratee at ni rater. These are the performance indicator of all classroom observable indicators na na-discuss natin kanina. So for quality, makakakuha ng outstanding si teacher if he or she demonstrated level 7 in classroom observable indicator objective as shown in COT rating sheets or inter-observable indicator. Very satisfactory naman if the teacher demonstrated level 6 in COI objective as shown in COT rating sheets, and satisfactory if the teacher demonstrated level 5 in COI objective as shown in their COT rating sheet or inter-observable indicator. Ang performance indicator naman for efficiency ay outstanding ang makukuha ni teacher if the objective was met within the allotted time, and satisfactory if the objective was met but instruction exceeded the allotted time. So, ibig sabihin, kapag sumobra ka sa oras ng inyong pagpapakitang turo, ang makukuha niyong rating ay satisfactory. Or, if ever na yung iyong first observation ay ginawa mo during second quarter, ang magiging rating mo na dito ay satisfactory. Kasi dapat ang first observation ay ginagawa ito during the first quarter. Ngayon naman po ay i-discuss natin ang objectives ng RPMS na non-classroom observable indicator. Objective number 9, set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with learning competencies. Ang mode of verification, at least one lesson plan, DLP, WHLP, WLP, WLL, lesson exemplars and the likes, or one lesson plan from a self-learning module developed by the ratee and used in instruction with achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with the learning competencies as shown in the following: lecture or discussion, activity or activity sheets, performance task, rubric for assessing performance using criteria that appropriately describe the target output. Ang MOVs na dapat na ilagay dito para makakuha ng outstanding si teacher ay one lesson from a self-learning module developed by the ratee and used in instruction. Ibig sabihin, yung self-learning module na ginamit niya sa kanyang as reference sa kanyang pagpapakitang turo ay siya mismo ang gumawa. Siya mismo yung nag-develop. And syempre kasama nito dapat may lesson plan na katunayan na yung kanyang lesson for that day ay galing doon sa self-learning module na ginawa ni teacher. Dahil ang performance indicator para makakuha ng outstanding si teacher sa quality ng Objective 9 ay set learning outcomes were achievable and appropriate and led to the attainment of the next related competency. So ito po yung dapat na ilagay natin para magkaroon tayo ng outstanding na rating. Kung ang mailalagay nating MOV dito sa objective number 9 ay weekly learning plan with activity sheets or dalawang lesson plan ng magkasunod na araw or session na may pirma ng inyong grade level coordinator, ng inyong head teacher, or ng inyong master teacher or principal, ang pwede nyong makuhang rating dito ay very satisfactory. Dahil sa indicator ng very satisfactory, ito ay set learning outcomes were achievable and appropriate and contributed to the understanding of the next related competency as shown in the MOV submitted. Uulitin ko po, achievable and appropriate and contributed to the understanding of the next related competency. Hindi natin maipapakita na nag-contribute yung first lesson natin doon sa next lesson kung iisa lang na lesson plan ang ipapasa natin or ilalagay natin dito sa objective number 9. So, ibig sabihin, if you chose to attach only one lesson plan for this objective, si teacher ay makakakuha ng rating na satisfactory. Kasi sa satisfactory, nakalagay na set learning outcomes were achievable and appropriate and are aligned with the learning competency as shown in the MOV submitted. These are the performance indicator for efficiency of objective number 9. Outstanding ang makukuha ng teacher if all of the learning outcomes set were aligned with the learning competencies as shown in the MOV submitted. Very satisfactory if majority of the learning outcomes set were aligned with the learning competencies as shown in the MOV submitted. And satisfactory if at least half of the learning outcomes set were aligned with the learning competencies as shown in the MOV submitted. Objective number 11 utilized assessment data to inform the modification of teaching and learning practices and programs. Ang MOVs for this objective is a list of identified least or most mastered skills based on the frequency of errors, correct responses with any one of the following supporting MOVs. Number 1, accomplishment report for remedial enhancement activities or remedial sessions, summer reading camp, Phil Erie-based reading program. Number 2, intervention material used for remediation. Number 3, lesson plan or activity log for remediation or enhancement utilizing of assessment data to modify teaching and learning practices or programs. To get outstanding for this performance indicator ng quality sa Objective 11, kailangan nakapag-implement si teacher ng teaching and learning strategy or program using materials based on learners' assessment data as evidenced by a list of identified least or most mastered skills with supporting MOV number 1. Ano ba yung MOV number 1 kanina? Ang MOV number 1 kanina ay ang accomplishment report for remedial. Kapag sinabing accomplishment report, kasama dito ang narrative ng program na na-implement ng teacher. Siyempre, kasama din dito yung mga data na magsusupport why you implemented those program. And yung mga data na yon ay FOE dahil dito manggagaling ang data ng iyong list or most mastered skills. And from this LMS or MMS, naman makakagawa ka ng remediation plan. And from remediation plan, makakapag-develop ka ng mga gagamitin mong materials. Without all this data, hindi ka makakagawa ng accomplishment report. So, dapat kompleto ito to make your rating for this objective na outstanding. These are the sample MOVs naman to get very satisfactory rating for objective number 11. Kasi ang performance indicator ng very satisfactory for quality ay develop materials based on learners' assessment data as evidenced by a list of identified least or most mastered skills with supporting MOV number 2. Yung MOV number 2 kanina na nakalagay ay intervention materials used for remediation or enhancement. And you can't make intervention material without these data from FOE, LMS, at saka yung remediation plan. From there kasi, makakapag-develop ka ng materials. So, these are the example. If the sample MOVs naman na mailalagay ni teacher sa kanilang portfolio ay FOE, LMS or MMS and remediation plan, ang kanyang magiging rating ay satisfactory. Dahil ang performance indicator for quality ng satisfactory ay planned for a teaching and learning strategy and or program based on learners' assessment data as evidenced by a list of identified list or most mastered skills with supporting MOV number 3. Ang MOV number 3 na binanggit ko kanina ay lesson plan, activity log for remediation, enhancement utilizing of assessment data to modify teaching and learning practices or programs. So these are the sample MOVs para sa objective number 11. At kung itong dalawa lamang ang mailalagay ni teacher na attachment as MOV for this objective, siya ay makakakuha ng rating na unsatisfactory. Dahil ang performance indicator ng quality for unsatisfactory ay analyze learners' mastered skills based on the frequency of errors and correct responses as evidenced by a list of identified least or most mastered skills. And through FOE, ma-analyze natin ang learner's mastered skills at ma-identify natin sa pamamagitan nito ang LMS at MMS. For performance indicator for timeliness of objective number 11, outstanding ang makukuha ni teacher if the teacher submitted MOV showed utilization of assessment data across 4 quarters. Very satisfactory naman if the teacher submitted MOV showed utilization of assessment data across 3 quarters. And satisfactory if the teacher submitted MOVs showed utilization of assessment data across 2 quarters. Objective number 12, build relationships with parents or guardians and the wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process. MOVs for this objective, any one of the following. Number 1, proof of participation in any activity highlighting the objective such as but not limited to the following. Receipt form or monitoring form during distribution of learning materials, commitment form to stakeholders, develop advocacy materials, certificate of participation that shows parents or stakeholders engagement signed by the school head. Any equivalent else form or documents that highlights the objective. Others, and please specify and provide annotations. Number 2, parent-teacher log or proof of other stakeholders meeting, one-on-one PTLC or parent, teachers, and learners conference log, attendance sheet with minutes of the meeting, proof of involvement in the learner's parents' orientation. Number 3, any form of communication to parents or stakeholders such as notice of meeting, screenshot of chat or text messages, communication with parents or guardian. If you want to get the rating of outstanding for this objective, dapat mailalagay mo lahat ng mga sample MOVs na ito dahil ang performance indicator ng quality for objective number 12 ay sustained engagement through regular communication of learners' needs, progress, and achievement to key stakeholders, including parents or guardians, as shown in the MOV submitted. Kapag sinabing sustained engagement, ibig sabihin continuous and prolonged involvement. So, ibig sabihin ongoing and consistent involvement and interaction between parents or guardians, learners, and other relevant individuals who have vested interest in the learner's development. So, ito yung mga sample MOVs. If you are the one who develop advocacy materials in early registration, enrollment, brigada eskwela, kasama dapat yan. And syempre, hindi din dapat doon nagtatapos kasi nga nakalagay nga dyan, nakalagay dito ay continuous involvement. So kasama din dito dapat yung mga attendance and minutes of the meeting during PTA, election of officers, other meetings with stakeholders, home visitation, and syempre, proof ng continuous reminders sa parents and students through messages. Dapat lahat po ito ay mai-attach ng teacher sa portfolio kung outstanding ang rating na gusto ni teacher. If the teacher naman attach sample MOVs like picture and attendance plus minutes of the meeting during parent and teachers conference, and itong home visitation form na may pirma ng parents and of course ng head teacher or MTs or principal, or kung gumawa si teacher ng advocacy materials like early registration or enrollment and attendance plus minutes of the meeting, siya ay makakuha ng rating na very satisfactory. Kasi ang performance indicator ng VS for quality ng objective number 12 ay sustained engagement with parents or guardians and or wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process as evidenced by two or more of MOV number 1 or number 2. Yung kaninang binasa ko, ang MOV number 1 ay proof of participation in any activity, highlighting the objective such as, but not limited the following: receipt form, monitoring form during distribution of learning materials, commitment form to stakeholders, or develop advocacy materials, certificate of participation that shows parents or stakeholders engagement signed by the school head, home visitation, or any equivalent else form or documents. For MOV number 2 naman, parent-teacher log or proof of other stakeholders meeting, kagaya ng nandito sa sample MOVs. Yung attendance sheet with minutes of the meeting. Kung attendance sheet with minutes of the meeting lang or itong accomplished home visitation form lang ang mailalagay ni teacher sa portfolio niya as kanyang MOV, siya ay makakakuha ng satisfactory. Dahil ang performance indicator ng Objective 12 for quality ay secured collaboration with parents or guardians and or wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process as evidenced by one MOV ng number 1 or number 2 na nabanggit ko kanina. Ito ay it's either develop advocacy materials or attendance sheets with minutes of the meeting, home visitation forms, kahit na isa lang doon ay ang mailalagay niya, ang kanya magiging rating ay satisfactory. If ever naman, yung way of communication ni teacher ay through chat or text message lang, ang kanyang may attach dito sa objective number 12 ay ang kanyang magiging rating ay unsatisfactory lang. Ito ang performance indicator for timeliness of objective number 12. So, outstanding ang makukuha ng teacher kapag nag-attach siya ng kanyang mga MOVs that showed engagement with parents or guardians and the wider school community across 4 quarters. So, 4 na quarter dapat meron siyang MOV. Very satisfactory naman if the teacher showed or yung kanyang mga MOV showed engagement with parents or guardians and the wider school community across 3 quarters. Satisfactory naman if the MOVs of the teachers are showed engagement with parents or guardians in the wider school community are across 2 quarters. And unsatisfactory kapag isang quarter lang yung maipapakita niyang MOV. Objective number 13, participated in professional networks to share knowledge and to enhance practice. MOVs for this objective are, number 1, certificate of completion in course or training. Number 2, certificate of participation in a webinar, retooling, upskilling, and other training, seminar, or workshop with proof of implementation. Number 3, certificate of recognition, speakership in a webinar and other training or seminar or workshop. Number 4, any proof of participation to a benchmarking activity. Number 5, any proof of participation in LAC session certified by LAC coordinator. Kung meron pang iba, please specify and provide annotations. Ang performance indicator for quality para makakuha ng outstanding ay participated in any professional network or activity that requires output and proof of implementation within the school to share knowledge and to enhance practice as evidenced by the submitted MOV. So tatandaan po ulit natin, kapag sinabing output, it may include but not limited to lesson plan, instructional materials, action plan, or any other teaching and learning related materials. Pag sinabi namang proof of implementation, it can be in the form of implemented action plan, lesson plan, executed in class, or application project. So, yung inattach kong sample MOVs, yung certificate na kasama sa planning, and syempre, kasama din dito yung project proposal na ito yung magiging proof of implementation. So, dahil ang project proposal na example dito ay yung sa Project I-Access at kasama doon ang advocacy campaign ng early registration, siyempre kasama din dito yung narrative report ng project na nakalagay dito. Very satisfactory naman ang makukuha na rating ni teacher for this objective number 13 sa quality kapag nag-attach siya ng sample na MOVs kagaya ng certificate na katunayan na siya ay naging resource speaker within the department and kasama dito yung narrative report and documentation ng kanyang pagiging speaker. Kasi ang performance indicator for quality ng objective number 13 ay participated in any professional network or activity that requires output and proof of implementation within the department or grade level to share knowledge and to enhance practice as evidenced by the submitted MOV. So itong inilagay na sample dito ay within the department lang nagamit at ginawa. So very satisfactory ang rating ni teacher. Kung ang nilagay naman ni teacher na sample MOV for objective number 13 ay yung kanyang certificate of participation na katunayang nag-participate siya sa in-service training and yung kanyang output na ipinapasa sa kanila yung mga, for example, yung MRF, ang makukuha niyang rating ay satisfactory. Bakit satisfactory lang? Kasi ang indicator ng quality for objective number 13 ay satisfactory if participated in any professional network or activity that requires output to share knowledge and to enhance practice as evidenced by the submitted MOV. So ito yung sample MOVs para makakuha si teacher ng satisfactory. Kung si teacher naman ay nag-attach ng mga certificate of participation, certificate of attendance, na katunayang umattend siya sa mga professional network or activities, kahit pa yan ay division level, regional level, national level, or kahit na international level at kahit na marami kang ilagay na certificate dito, kapag walang output yung inyong inilagay, unsatisfactory pa rin ang inyong magiging rating dito. Bakit unsatisfactory lang kahit na may mga international certificate of participation? Dahil sa indicator ng objective number 13 for unsatisfactory ay participated in any professional network or activity that does not require output to share knowledge and to enhance practice as evidenced by the submitted MOVs. So ulitin ko po, kahit na sangkatutak at international pa yang magiging certificate ninyo, unsatisfactory pa rin ang inyong magiging rating hanggat wala kayong inilagay na output dito. So for performance indicator for timeliness of objective number 13, outstanding ang makukuha ni teacher if the teacher participated in professional networks to share knowledge and to enhance practice across 4 quarters. So very satisfactory naman if the teacher participated in professional networks to share knowledge and to enhance practice across 3 quarters. And satisfactory if the teacher participated in professional networks to share knowledge and to enhance practice across 2 quarters. Objective number 14, develop a personal improvement plan based on reflection of one's practice and ongoing professional learning. MOVs for this objective, number 1, certification from the ICT coordinator or school head or focal person in charge of ESAT. Number 2, IPCRF DP or yung development plan. And number 3, mid-year review form. Number 4, updated IPCRF DP from Phase 2. Ang performance indicator to get outstanding for quality dito sa objective number 14 ay updated professional development goals during Phase 2 of the RPMS cycle as evidenced by MOV4. So ang MOV4 kanina ay updated IPCRF DP from Phase 2. So dapat nakalagay rin dito, kung mapapansin kasi ninyo, 4 po yung nakalagay, dapat nakalagay rin dito yung certification from the ICT, katunayan na nag-take ka ng ESAT, IPCRF-DP, and yung MRF. Kasi ito yung supporting documents para magawa mo itong updated IPCRF development plan mo. Para naman makakuha ng very satisfactory ang performance indicator nito for quality, for objective number 14 ay discuss progress on professional development goals with the rater during the media review as evidenced by MOV number 3. So ang MOV number 3 dito ay yung media review form. So mapapansin po ninyo ulit, tatlo po yung nakalagay dyan kasi itong dalawa ang certification from ICT coordinator at yung IPCRDP ang supporting documents para magagawa itong media review form. Ang performance indicator naman for quality para sa satisfactory ng objective number 14 ay set professional development goals based on ESAT result as evidenced by MOV number 2. Ang MOV number 2 ay IPCRF-DP. At makakagawa ka ng IPCRF development plan kapag ikaw ay nag-take ng ESAT. At ang katunayan na nag-take ka ng ESAT ay yung iyong certification from the ICT coordinator. Kaya si teacher ay makakakuha ng satisfactory kapag itong dalawang MOV lang ang ilalagay niya sa kanyang portfolio. At kapag ang inilagay lang ni teacher na MOV sa kanyang portfolio ay ang kanyang certification from the ICT, katunayan na siya ay nag-take ng ESAT, ang kanyang magiging rating ay unsatisfactory. Dahil unsatisfactory, nakalagay dito sa indicator, accomplish the ESAT at the beginning of the school year as evidenced by MOV number 1. So yun nga po yung certification from the ICT. Performance indicator of objective number 14. So for efficiency, outstanding ang makukuha ni teacher if the teacher submitted 4 acceptable MOVs. Very satisfactory naman ang rating sa efficiency if the teacher submitted 3 acceptable MOVs. And satisfactory kapag si teacher ay nag-submit ng 2 acceptable MOVs. For timeliness naman po, outstanding ang makukuha ni teacher if all 4 submitted MOVs were accomplished within the prescribed RPMS phase. So ulitin po natin yung prescribed RPMS phase. Yung ESAT po dapat at saka yung individual plan ay dapat ito ay nagawa during first to second month of the first quarter. Yung media review naman po, dapat ito ay nagawa within the 5th to 6th month of the school year. So, very satisfactory naman ang makukuha ni teacher sa timeliness if the 3 of the submitted MOVs were accomplished within the prescribed RPMS phase. And satisfactory if 2 of the submitted MOVs were accomplished within the prescribed RPMS phase. Objective number 15, perform various related works or activities that contribute to teaching learning process. So ang MOVs for this objective ay any one proof of committee involvement, involvement as module or learning material writer or validator, involvement as a resource person, speaker, or learning facilitator in the regional office, SDO, or school-initiated TV or radio-based instructions, book or journal authorship, co-authorship or contributorship, advisorship, coordinatorship, chairpersonship, participation in demonstration teaching, participation as research presenter in a forum or conference, mentoring of press service in-service training, conducted research within rating period. Dapat po may annotation on how it contributed to the teaching learning process. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung mga sample MOVs for this objective. Kung ang ilalagay ni teacher na sample MOV dito, yung i-attach niya sa kanyang portfolio ay certificate na katunayan siya ay module or learning material writer or validator, or siya ay resource person or speaker sa regional office or SDO, or siya ay author ng isang book or journal or co-author siya doon, or may contribution siya doon sa book or sa journal, ang kanyang magiging rating for this objective sa quality ay outstanding. Kasi ang performance indicator for outstanding ng quality ay perform at least one related work or activity that contributed to the teaching learning process beyond the school or community learning center as evidenced by the submitted MOV. So, kailangan din na lalagyan ito ng annotation on how it contributed to the teaching learning process. For example naman, ikaw ay focal person ng inyong school. For example, nakalagay dyan ng Catch-up Friday. Or ikaw ay resource speaker. Or ikaw ay TWG or Technical Working Group Chairman. Ang magiging rating mo sa iyong rating sheet for quality ay very satisfactory. Kasi nakalagay sa indicator ng very satisfactory, perform at least one related work or activity that contributed to the teaching learning process within the school or community learning center as evidenced by the submitted MOV. Ibig sabihin, within the school lang. So, dapat meron ding annotation on how it contributed to the teaching learning process. Kung halimbawa si teacher ay chairman ng technical working group kapag may activity sa kanilang department or siya ay chairman ng technical working group sa LAC session or siya ang focal person ng department sa Catch-up Friday or siya ay resource speaker during LAC session, ang kanyang magiging rating for this objective sa quality ay satisfactory. Bakit satisfactory? Dahil ang indicator na nakalagay dito ay performed at least one related work or activity that contributed to the teaching learning process within the learning area or department as evidenced by the submitted MOV. Dapat po may annotation din kung paano ito nag-contribute sa teaching learning process. Performance indicator for efficiency and timeliness of objective number 15. So for efficiency, outstanding ang makukuha ng teacher if the submitted MOV that details the achieved positive contribution to the teaching learning process as evidenced by the annotation provided. Very satisfactory naman yung efficiency kapag submitted MOV that details the perceived positive contribution to the teaching learning process as evidenced by the annotation provided. And satisfactory naman ang kanyang magiging rating sa efficiency if the teacher submitted MOV that shows reasonable interlap with the teaching learning process as evidenced by the annotation provided. For timeliness naman, outstanding ang makukuha ni teacher if the teacher submitted MOVs were distributed across 4 quarters. Very satisfactory if the teacher submitted MOVs were distributed across 3 quarters. And syempre, satisfactory if the teacher submitted MOVs were distributed across 2 quarters. Lagi po natin tatandaan na lahat po ng MOVs na i-attach natin sa ating portfolio, dapat po ito ay may pirma ng inyong grade level coordinator or ng inyong master teacher or ng head teacher and principal. Kasi without signature po, ito po ay invalid at dapat na hindi bibigyan ng rating. That's all for today, dear teachers. Thank you for watching. Sana ay nakatulong itong video na ito sa pag-accomplish natin ng ating RPMS portfolio. Please don't forget to like and share and subscribe my YouTube channel, Teacher V.